So I lived in Kansas City, probably for maybe 6 months in 2007. I actually lived there for close to 8 years, but in 2007 we had just moved, and I was living in the Midwest for the first time. And if you've ever been to the Midwest or if you've ever lived in the Midwest, there's something that takes place there that doesn't happen very often here, and that is tornadoes. I lived there for a few months, and I will never forget my roommate and I were sitting in our upstairs apartment, and all of a sudden, the wind is howling. There are these sirens going off all around us. The lights are flickering. It sounds like someone is breaking into our apartment, and I am freaking out. I have no idea what is happening. She and I both are looking at each other like, what is this? Is a tornado. The TV is telling us that we need to take cover immediately. It was a nightmare. I was so scared. Thankfully, we lived upstairs from our landlord and his wife. And so in the midst of this storm, this little old man walks up the stairs, knocks on the front door, and invites us to come on down so that we didn't have to be afraid during this tornado. And we rode out our very first, I would love to tell you it was my last, but it was not, tornado with our landlord and his wife. It was wonderful. I was no longer afraid because someone who was already experiencing this was right there with us. That is what I see happening in this passage right here. You see, the disciples have been sent on. They've been sent on their way. They're out in the middle of the sea, and here comes the storm. It's pounding down. Waves are going everywhere. It's a bad storm. It's not a tornado, but it's a bad storm in the middle of the sea. They are scared. They don't know what to do until they look out across the sea and they see what they say is a ghost, and it's Jesus. And he tells them, don't be afraid. It's me. Don't be afraid. To me, that is like the picture perfect picture, I guess you could say, of Jesus. It's this picture perfect idea of who Jesus is. When the storms of life are raging, when things are happening, when we feel like we're being taken out, Jesus is standing there and he's telling us, don't be afraid. I've got you. It's me. Do you hear me? Like, let me help you out. So many times when those storms are raging, it's so hard to see where Jesus is. I get that. I've been there. I've been the person scared in the upstairs apartment. It would have been really easy to just let him knock on the door and not answer because I could have thought that it was somebody else, or maybe the tornado was coming to take me away, but I didn't. I opened the door, and he even said, come on, girls, don't be afraid. Come downstairs with us. And that's what Jesus is telling these disciples. He's like, don't be afraid. It's me. Trust me. Do you trust Jesus with the storms of your life? Do you trust Jesus when the waves are crashing down on you? If not, take some time today to just give those storms over to him. Let him tell you, it's me. Don't be afraid.